It's your king's attire. Okay. Just take a breath. Johnito, Sikuri. I can't see you with this flower in your face, but it's beautiful. So, welcome to the Friendly Frequencies podcast. I don't know if you knew it was called that. Did you know my name is Friendly Frequencies online? No? That's my name.
Friendly Frequencies?
See? It started as my art name, then it became my podcast name and all the things. Dancer name, rap name, podcast. So this is the Friendly Frequencies podcast, and this is Jhon, Sikuri, and we've been so blessed to spend the last month together in Peru, and we've been working with plant medicine, and this is what you've been doing for many decades now. And yeah, I just want to start by saying gracias for all you've been teaching me and this experience that you've been allowing me to be a part of, allowing me to not only work with the plants myself, Ayahuasca and Wachuma, but also be of service and help you and volunteer with you. And I reached out to you being a bit afraid to say, hey, do you need help with social media, or do you need help with any murals or anything? And I did not expect that it would turn out to be such a beautiful friendship between you and Janneke, between working with you like this and working with the plants so deeply, and yeah, and just being able to connect in this way and just have such a beautiful exchange that I feel like we will always be friends. We'll probably always be business partners. And that just is literally the best thing. And I feel like you are half the reason that I was meant to come to Peru. Other half is probably the book. And so, gracias for giving me your time. And I'm so excited to share your message with the people who are meant to see it. So, with that, I would love to just give you a chance to introduce yourself, give us your story. How did you become a maestro?
Carmen, thank you very much. I feel the same. I feel happy. I feel grateful. I feel this profound, friendly vibration connecting to you. Thank you for this conversation. You should know, big part of our service, big part of my personal path is a everyday preparation for the next conversation. And that's why I found plant medicine is so important. In the very first place, plant medicine is helping us to listen. Help me to be a better listener, first of all, to myself. It's clear that for every one of us, every time our heart is talking to us. Every time our guts are talking to us. Every time our inner dimension is talking to us. However, we are so distracted, we are so disconnected, until the extreme that even most of the time we fear to listen. Plant medicine is the gift that helps us to cleanse the channels, to cleanse the layers of resistances, and then we can go back to listen. And from this clear listening, we can have these deeper conversations. We can have these essential conversations. In this way also I want to say that my personal path, I grew up in my grandfather community in the highlands in the south of Cusco, a little town called San Pedro. I love this town and I love this beautiful resonance that nowadays I can share San Pedro ceremonies. The Spaniards call it San Pedro to the cactus we call Wachuma, and for me it's just a beautiful homage and I love it. In San Pedro, my father's town, my grandfather, since I have my early memories, he was the one who is specific times in a year doing the ceremonies, doing the rituals, doing the, let's say, the cosmic dialogues. However, in my personal life, my father died very early when I was 8, and soon my grandfather as well. And this open door, which was difficult in some period, came to be one of the biggest gifts it can happen to me. Came to me to be open, to wait, to look for the conscious father figure that my spirit was longing. And in this point, now I am 43, I am ready to say I am super extremely grateful to say that I have had the huge privilege to walk next to amazing Andean, Amazonian maestros, maestras, in a way that I made family with so many of them. It would be another conversation just to talk about them and how beautiful their memory, their energy, their little actions still guiding me in ceremony. Even now, I have to share with you guys the memory of Maestro Isaac Malki. He's doing Indian ancestral medicine, but then because he is an anthropologist, he learned the old European traditions connecting with the with the esoteric arcanas uh, and different principles.
Arcanas?
But then
What is arcanas?
all the tradition.
Sí.
But then he was a singer. He had an amazing voice. You have to listen, like most of the time he's guiding us, he's teaching us, no? His esoteric things. But then suddenly he opens the ritual and then he starts to sing. Oh my God, it was just amazing. And for this conversation, I was just connecting with my own voice, and I was thinking, wow, it would be nice when I can have at least like this this confidence, this connection with his voice as Maestro Malki had us that time. And I feel now he's with me. Thank you very much, Maestro Malki.
Gracias, gracias, gracias. Yeah, and one part of your journey that I wanted to touch on is that you and I have a similar path in that we were both in law enforcement, criminal justice, and we both like took a very steep turn from that. I was going to be a police officer my whole life. I was planning to do that. You were planning to be a lawyer. See? You were studying law. I just would love you to share a little bit about how you made that transition into plant medicine and why.
I have to confess, I didn't know. Recently, like 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I start to understand what now in simple words I can say where I come from. I come from injustice. Thanks to plant medicine, I have seen, I have started to process this deep need of justice. But then, my whole life, I didn't understood. I couldn't react. And at that time, I thought that that was the only way. I thought that was what is needed. Plant medicine helps us to cleanse the channels, to clean your vessel. In this way, we are more receptive. We can listen. We can see. In this point, I have to ask permission to be vulnerable.
See, always.
My personal process especially in my mother lineage, we have had 4 generations before strong conflicts, and then the next generations couldn't process until it was my turn, and I feel them and I saw them claiming for justice, claiming for balance. Well, nowadays I can connect with my ancestors, and from the deepest love I receive from them, I can answer, I can tell them, I see you, I respect you, and I love you. However, in this point in my life, I think, I feel we can process this experience in a more essential way. Building this balance in every step we take, taking in balance every conversation we have. Giving this win-win relationship with everyone, with plants, with animals, with everyone. So in this way, in a conscious, committed actions, we can help to channel, help to process this archaic feeling of feeling disbalance. So maybe it sounds abstract, but
It is abstract. See, I see it as like, and what I hear you saying is, as well, is, you know, instead of, I mean, this is also part of the reason I moved away from policing, which was, it is of course it's necessary, we need it, but it's, I'm way more inclined to help the source of the pain, the source of the trauma, which is what usually is what's manifesting into crime, right? And I don't feel like I'm the right person to punish somebody for their inner child being wounded, right? And instead, I would rather take them, of course, we need police, we need criminal justice, but I'm way more, I'm way more inclined to go to the root of it. And that's what ayahuasca does, that's what Wachuma does. It's like we go to the root of the source of where we come from, the source of our, you know, for me it's God, for you it might be something else. I know Pachamama, there's different words to explain this thing, but really be connecting to that the inner child and the inner source of it all, and like getting to process not only our stuff but our ancestors' stuff. That's often transmuted into us when we're born. So it's been incredibly powerful to witness that.
you just bring here the magical key personally, and I see it all the time with people around me. The magical key that opens all these messages, all these insights, all this loving growth is connecting with the inner child. Definitely. Is so special, so simple, so good, so good. When we Andean people, we do plant medicine. It's like at least the first chapters is like a horror, heavy experience to pass through. Imagine you have to visit this bloody river and then you have to cross this river in the cold, in the dark. It was like 7 years ago. Maestro from the Netherlands, Henk, came my path, listening his teachings. My heart, my soul was amazed by every word he shares, every sentence, every teaching. It was like for me like, yes, 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 yes. To be more clear, when we go to plant medicine, in this deep listening, we are going to cry. But then, cry is sweet. Cry by itself is purification. Cry by itself is liberation. Of course, culturally, we may have different blockages, different cryings, then. However, in all the cases, it's good. And for every one of us, if in this deep transition, the older part of us commits to accept, commits to hug your inner child, whew, all the next steps become brightful, become beautiful, become exciting, become, connecting with the inner child has been for me the best context and the best preparation and the best integration. And we can click with the mysterious work of the plant medicines we have.
See. Yeah, it worked for me, absolutely. I was hugging my inner child that was hungry. That was my, like, there's many of them that I've connected to when in the medicine, but definitely the one that I felt was the most powerful, because the thing that I still to this day have, struggled with is like my relationship to food, and to be able to connect with, I've never connected back to the inner child of me that is scared to go to bed hungry, that is, and that is just finally sitting with that. Like, that was really powerful in the ayahuasca, to be sitting and just letting myself be hungry and know that there's no going to get food right now. Like, I'm thinking about the chocolate cake that I had, and I want it so bad, and the coffee, and that is, I think, and that brings me to another part that I think is so important about the ayahuasca ceremony, that's so different from any other ayahuasca and Wachuma, that's so different from other plant medicine journeys, which is the diet that you go on, right? That's been so powerful for me, to be taking away these basically like all the external dopamine sources that have been fueling my life in a fake way, right? Like I have tons of genuine happiness in my life, but I realized just how addicted I was to coffee, to food, to sugar. I mean, we're all really, like so many of us are addicted to these things that we have every day. And to take that away, because for 2 weeks before the ceremony and after, you take these things away, including sex and like other things that really are going to take us away from the most natural state, like the most connected to nature, to Pachamama. And like that's how I see it, is being able to create our own dopamine source, right? And for me, that's been more than half the journey. It's been beautiful. Off coffee and sugar for a month. Those are the two most like difficult, and salt. And so, yeah, but even that like brought out my inner child that was like, I want this and I can't have it. And I've always just given her whatever she wants, really. It's been powerful for me. Yeah.
Thank you for this expression.
See?
Thank you for this, the open trust. I think for me, it's super important to mention the process is intrinsic. It's something you remember inside yourself. The other way, because we human beings, we are so used for extrinsic living style. This is so confusing. I have to help you to remember, better than two advices, better than two therapies, is one advice. And this is the most essential advice. It is within yourself. It is listening. What does your guts are telling you with this craving of food? What does your inner child remembers when you were the little kid and before going to bed you felt like something is empty around your stomach? I will not give answers. I will just tell you the possibility that maybe instead more food, slowly, we could exchange it with a warm hug of Papa taking you to bed, with a warm story Mama is telling you before to go to sleep. And if you didn't have those experiences, now give it to yourself, give it to your inner child. Not any story, no, please, no video tutorial, no. Just a nice, gentle story with a happy ending that shows that is good just to close this day in a positive vibration. Give this little story to your inner child. Now. Medicine will help us to realize reality is multidimensional, and in the present moment we can visit these memories of the past, we can visit these feelings, and by giving yourself tonight this, you can reconciliate these feelings in your inner child.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, it's what Janneke talks about, reparenting yourself or being the parent that you didn't get. And yeah, I'm going to get her to get into that when I have her on here for sure. More into that, because I think that's a huge part of the work. Yeah, I want to also ask you. Oh wait, first I want to say, because when you said that, I thought I thought what you were saying was, which is something that you taught me, which other people seem to know, I didn't know, which was revolutionary. When you're craving sugar or carbs, if you give somebody a long hug, it makes it go away. See? That's mind blowing for me. Didn't know that, and that's huge because I'm always craving these things. So yeah, I just wanted to share that in case anyone here didn't also know that. Okay, and I want to ask you about the eagle and the condor. What is the eagle and the condor for you? Most people who listen to this probably won't know what that means. What is the significance of this for you?
I was born in Cusco. Baby born, my parents moved. We went to my father's town, San Pedro. Since little, I was curious, delighted by the stories, especially my grandma. She kept the Inca memories and the big respect to the ancient maestros very, very alive. She was one of the first treat me like, because I was born in Cusco. She treated me like a Coscoruna, like someone important.
Mm.
And later on, when I came back to Cusco, I have seen more or less a touristic city, a place where two big groups exchange, the locals and the tourists, with all the pros and with all the cons. And then I see, the condor. The condor is drinking from the stream, is drinking from the glacier, is drinking from the river. The eagle, the eagle is drinking from the plastic bottle, is drinking from the supermarket, is drinking from the thermos. Super safe, no? I want to bring again Maestro Malki, because in some important ceremonies he used to do Andean rituals like Inti Raimi. No, for us is the winter solstice, one of the biggest ceremonies we have in June, around June 21. And he used to do the ceremonies in company with this esoteric gringo friends he had, foreigners. And for me it was just amazing that there is a space, there is time to exchange wisdom from this side, wisdom from the other side. Likely thanks to plant medicine, because big part of the work, Mama Ayahuasca, Taitacha Kuruna, sacred plant medicine like Wachuma, Cocamama, Mapacho, big part of the work they are doing is to weave the energies, to weave our teachings. And then in special places like Cusco, Cusco City, Sacred Valley, there has been always intercultural exchange. And we want to take this intercultural exchange for the best. And of course with a lot of respect, and of course with a lot of humility as well. I don't know that much about this eagle. I am still learning. I have to admit it's challenging sometimes. I tell you because I am married 9 years with